Hello.
Hello. Good afternoon, ma'am.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, madam.
Good afternoon. How are you?
Good afternoon, madam. Dear participant. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
I want to express. Good afternoon. I want to say something about myself. Okay, I have started my research journey on neural network under the guidance of Madam, and I am proud to be a student of Madam. And I had invited Madam on the Teachers' Day, and it is ये भगवान का सौगत संयोग है कि आज अधिमास पड़ रहा है और अधिमास के दिन व्यक्ति अपने लिए शुभ काम करता है. तो मेरे लिए आई एम गेटिंग द ब्लेसिंग ऑफ माय गाइड्स madam, and I am thankful for joining us. Thank you very much, madam.
Okay.
Participants has joined. Ma'am, we are starting within a minute.
Okay, no problem. No problem.
All the participants are requested to keep their mic off. Good afternoon to our eminent guest, Professor Lakshmi Srivastava ma'am from MITS Gwalior, and all the distinguished participants with immense pleasure. I feel privileged to extend my warm welcome in the last day of FBP on application of soft computing techniques in engineering optimization under TechTube 3, organized by Electrical Engineering Department, UIT RGPV Bhopal. It's a great pleasure for me to introduce the guest, Professor Lakshmi Srivastava ma'am. She is expertise in particle swarm optimization, StatCom, differential evolution, FACS devices, and power systems. She has more than 120 publications in renowned journals. She has 1928 citations. She has handled more than 8 projects. And today, ma'am is going to share with us her expert opinion and findings on application of neural network in engineering application. We felt honored to have with us the honorable guest, Professor Lakshmi Srivastava ma'am. We are pleased to welcome you, ma'am. I'm sure we'll be enriched by the session. I welcome you, ma'am. Ma'am, please, may I request to continue the session, please?
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Good afternoon to everyone. As suggested by Dr. K.T. Chaturvedi, I have planned to deliver lecture on artificial neural networks, an overview and key issues. Artificial neural network techniques were earlier developed and applied in a number of engineering applications before the introduction of evolutionary computing techniques. Then, during last 2 decades, evolutionary computing techniques are being applied in most of the engineering applications as compared to artificial neural networks. But with the development of deep learning neural networks, artificial neural network has become again now a popular soft computing technique which can be used for function approximation, estimation, classification tasks, and also for optimization. So this is an overview of neural networks and some related key issues with artificial neural networks. So we will start from neural network. Neural network is a system composed of many simple processing elements called neurons. It is one of the basic soft computing or cognitive computing methods. These neurons operate in parallel and their function is determined by network structure, connection strength, and processing performed at computing elements. Now, artificial neural network. This is a system that works on the similar principle as the neural system of living things like human brain. It is also called parallel distributed processing, that is PDP or connectionist model. Scientists are keen to develop machines which can perform the difficult tasks like wars, mining work in earthquake prone areas. So the effort was being made that if a machine as intelligent as human brain can be developed for risky purposes, this will be a great success for the researchers. In some case, if we compare human brain with computer, we find that in some cases people are faster than machines. For example, voice recognition, face recognition, handwriting recognition, etc. However, in most of the computational tasks, computers are always outperformed. Artificial neural network is a promising new generation information processing network. ANN's ability to perform computations is based on the hope that we can replicate the flexibility and power of human brain by some artificial means. So the aim was to develop an intelligent machine which can behave as a human brain does. There is very little knowledge of brain's overall functioning, but some emulations have been achieved that gives good results. A normal human brain consists of approximately 10 to power 11 computing elements, which are known as neurons. They are interconnected with each other with 10 to power 15 number of interconnections. Brain occupies 2% of body mass. It consumes 20% of body's oxygen and it consumes 20 watt of power also. Now, artificial neural network and biological neural networks are compared here. We can see when we want to mimic a human brain, the Biological neurons are replaced by artificial neurons or processing elements, dendrites and axon. These are replaced by wires, and synapse or synaptic weights are replaced by weights. So the upper figure shows biological neural network while the lower one shows artificial neural network. We can see here that each processing element has two parts. One is summation unit, that sigma symbol is there, and other is an activation function. In this case, the activation function is sigmoidal, which is non-linear continuous differentiable function. Artificial neurons can interact in many ways. The processing elements sum and fire. Fire means they give output when it exceeds the threshold limit, as it happens in biological neural networks. The number and nature of interconnections of neurons depend on the model or architecture used to construct the artificial neural network. Now the characteristics of ANN are like this. ANN for computations are not programmed. As we usually say that in place of programming, we say when we are working on the development of ANN, we always say that we are training a neural network. Not we used to say that we are doing programming on ANN. So because they learn to solve the problems through interactions with environment. In the same way as a child learns from different examples, in the same way, artificial neural networks are to be trained by showing it a number of exemplar patterns. Exemplar patterns means a set of input and corresponding output. So we say that ANN is being trained, not we are to say that we are ANN programmer. So not like this. Very little computation is carried out at each site of an individual neuron. Only summation is there and activation function is applied for non-linear mapping. There is no explicit memory space or processing locations in a neural network, but it is implicit in the connections between the neurons in the form of weights, which are modifiable in nature. Not all the sources of input feeding a neuron are of equal importance. In the same way as we find that a number of information coming to a human is not of equal importance. So the same concept is used when we are developing a neural network. This all depends on weight, which can be negative or positive. Means if a listener is interested in receiving that information, then positive weight will be given to that information. But if we want to ignore, if a human brain want to ignore that information, he or she can ignore that information just by putting negative weight to it or just by ignoring it. So positive and negative, both type of interconnection weights are mapped when we are developing a neural network. Inputs arriving at a neurons are transformed according to neurons activation function. Normally, sigmoidal function, which is non-linear and continuous function, that is used for non-linear input-output mapping. ANN vestibular presentation can model any degree of non-linearity, and thus ANNs are useful in solving non-linear problems. And we know very well that most of the real world problems are highly non-linear in nature. So it means ANN can be used to map, to solve any non-linear problem of real world. ANN does not require any a priori knowledge of system model. In the same way, a human being learns from its experience. So in the same way, ANN does not require the system model for its development. ANNs are used where now what is the best area. What are the best applications where ANN can be used? ANN can be used, ANN should be used where statistical character is involved, like load forecasting, weather forecasting. This is one case. Other case may be where large computation, repeatedly computation, similar type of computation is required. For example, contingency analysis. Electrical engineering students and faculty are well known to contingency analysis problem. So two types of problems are very much important where the ANN can be utilized successfully. One is where statistical character is involved, other is where large computation is required. ANNs are capable of handling situation of incomplete information, corrupt data, and they are fault tolerant also. Artificial neural networks are composed of interconnected neurons. Each neuron converts the pattern of incoming signals into a single outgoing signal that it forwards to other neurons. It multiplies each incoming signal by the weight on the connection and adds together all these weighted inputs to get a quantity that is known as net input. Now this net input is transformed into a non-linear output with the help of activation function. So the same diagram of artificial neural network, we can see here that each processing unit has two parts. One is summation unit and other one is activation function. WT12 is weight connected between two neurons, and signal is coming from neuron 1 to neuron 2 and from neuron 1 to neuron 3 and so. Now see activation functions. The behavior of an ANN depends on both the weights and the input output function, that is transfer function, that is specified for the neurons. The activation function transforms neurons input into output. It prevents accelerating growth of activation levels through the network, because in most of the cases it limits the output between -1 to +1 or sometimes between 0 to 1. The transfer function typically falls into one of the three categories. One is linear activation function, second one is threshold, and third one is sigmoid. These are the graphical representation of various activation functions, and depending upon our problem, we can opt any activation function. For example, if we want to apply artificial neural network for classification task, then we can use threshold activation function. If we want to use artificial neural network for function approximation, then continuous differentiable functions like sigmoid function, Gaussian function may be used. Similarly, ramp function may be used as per our requirement. Classification of ANN. ANNs can be classified in various ways. One is on the basis of layer of ANN. It may be single layer ANN or it may be multi-layer ANN. In single layer ANN, the commonly used models are perceptron model that was suggested by Rosenblatt in 1959. Second one is Adaline. In multi-layer ANN, more than one layers are there. And the in-between layer is known as hidden layer. On the basis of neuron interactions, the neural network may be either feed-forward neural network or it may be feed-backward neural network. On the basis of learning, this may be supervised learning, unsupervised learning, and third one is reinforcement learning. On the basis of neuron structure, it may be multi-layer perceptron model, Boltzmann machine, Cauchy machine, Cohen self-organizing map, etc. Special type of ANNs are also there: parallel self-organizing hierarchical neural network, knowledge-based neural network, support vector machines, etc. Now, supervised training, as is clear from its name, in supervised training, both the inputs and outputs are provided. The network then processes the inputs and compares its resulting output against the desired output. Then the error between the target output, that is the correct output, and the ANN output is known as error. This error is backpropagated, and depending upon the error, the weights are modified during each iteration. This process occurs over and over as the weights are continually modified. This is not modified, this is modified. The set of data which enables the training is called training set. During the training of a network, the same set of data is processed again and again as the connection weights are ever refined. And this training is continued till the error becomes negligible. In case of unsupervised training, only inputs are given, no output is given during the training. And depending upon the organization of the input, the various patterns are classified in various clusters or groups. So we can say that unsupervised training is used for rough classification tasks. Then various learning laws were proposed by various researchers. Learning laws are nothing but they show the equation how the weights are modified in t plus 1th iteration with the help of its weight in previous iteration. So the common equation is WIT plus 1 is equal to WI at tth iteration plus delta WI at tth iteration. So delta WIT is nothing but this is change in weight. There are different methods for implementing the learning features in a neural network, which lead to several learning laws. So basic learning laws, number of equations are there. So one is Heff's law. This is used for unsupervised learning. Second one is perceptron learning law. This is two types of perceptron learning laws are there. One is known as for discrete perceptron learning law, where output is only bipolar plus 1 minus 1 or 0 and 1. Then delta learning law, this is also known as continuous perceptron learning law. Then Vitro-Hoff learning law is also there. This is a special case of delta learning law. Also, this is also known as least mean square error learning law. This is used in Adaline model. Then correlation learning law is also there. This is special case of Gaussian learning. Now come to perceptron model. This is the oldest type of the model. This has only one layer of weight. So this is single layer model. We see here x1, x2, x3, xn, these are the inputs, and corresponding to it, outputs are there, which are m in number, y1, y2 up to ym. So these are the equations related to perceptron model. And we see here that this model uses here sign function. It means this is for classification task. These equations correspond to classification task by perceptron model. So these are the equations here. Theta, Wi is the weight at ith weight, where theta, this is bias. Bias may be positive or negative. in addition to weights, bias are also introduced in artificial neural network because the bias neuron enhances the training of neural network. It means it speeds up the training. In the same way, if we have positive attitude, we are always ready to learn a problem, then easily we can learn any problem. If negative biasing is there, then this becomes more difficult to learn. Perceptron model and linear separability. Perceptron model and linear separability. This is, as I told, this is the earliest type of the model, and it has limitations. The limitation is that the single layer perceptron model is not able to classify the problems which are non-linearly separable. It can classify correctly only the linear separable problems. Example of linear separability is shown here. This is the example of exclusive OR function. We see here x1, x2, and corresponding output is given by y. These are the outputs 0 and 1. If we see this graph, no line can be drawn between the two classes. Single line cannot be drawn to separate the two classes, one containing 0 and other containing 1. So XOR problem is a linearly inseparable function. So this was see here. This is linear separable problem. So if such type of problem is given, if we apply perceptron model for linear separable classification problem, only then it can perform correctly, otherwise not. So some more illustrations to show linear separability. So figure A is linearly separable patterns. Figure B shows non-linearly separable pattern. So real world problems are like figure number 2. So it means to solve real world problems, single layer perceptron model or perceptron model is not sufficient. We cannot use single layer perceptron model to solve real world classification problems. So these are the limitations of perceptron model or single layer perceptron model, SLP model, that it can handle classification of only those inputs which are linearly separable. It is difficult to say whether a given function is linearly separable or not. It is not predictable how long it will take time to train the network. So there is no guarantee that this neural network will be trained or not. It is not good in generalization capability. Perceptrons have not shown the strength in learning to recognize relationship between various inputs. So these are the limitations associated with perceptron model. After development of perceptron model, the researchers thought that neural network is not the right direction for further research because this model was not having much capability. But some researchers still worked on it. They developed another model. They introduced one more layer between the input layer and output layer. They named this layer as multi-layer perceptron model. When they introduced one hidden layer in it, they found that this model has tremendous capability to solve various types of complicated and non-linear problems successfully. So the time between the perceptron model and multi-layer perceptron model, that time duration is known as dark age of artificial neural network. Now, multi-layer perceptron models, this has three types of layers. One is known as input layer, in which we apply the input. Then second one is hidden layer. This is between the input layer and output layer. And third type of layer is known as output layer, from where we collect the output. This has been observed that two hidden layers are sufficient to solve any type of non-linear and complicated problems. This is simple diagram of a multi-layer feed-forward neural network. We can see here that this neural network has only one hidden layer, and the number of hidden layer neurons are 4 in this case. Number of output are 2, inputs are 3. Same diagram here again. Then training algorithm, how the MLP model can be trained. For training the feed-forward neural network, back propagation learning algorithm is applied because error gets propagated during each iteration. That's why we say sometimes feed-forward neural network is also known as BP model, because back propagation algorithm is used. Sometimes this is also known as error back propagation neural network. So this is a feed-forward neural network, but algorithm is back propagation algorithm. So two back propagation algorithm can be applied in two ways, either online mode or single pattern mode, or in batch mode. In online or single pattern mode, what is done? One pattern is shown to it, is given to it, and corresponding to the error, the weights are updated. Then with this updated weight, second pattern is shown to it, and after that the weights are again updated. So in this way, in same iteration, depending upon the number of training patterns, the weights are updated again and again. While in batch mode, all the patterns are fed to it one by one, and the error is compiled. Error for all the patterns is compiled, and depending upon that error, the weights are updated. So in one iteration, the weights are updated only once. So this is algorithm, back propagation algorithm in batch mode. Equation number 1, this shows net input of hidden layer neuron. Equation 2, this shows output of hidden layer neuron. We see here that f net HP is equal to 1 upon 1 plus e to power net HP. Actually, this is nothing but this is expression for sigmoidal activation function. Then output of hidden layer neurons and connected weights between the output layer and hidden layer neurons are used to compute the net input and output of the outlier neurons using equation 3 and 4. Then error is calculated. For equation 5 shows the error for one pattern, while equation 6 shows the error for all the patterns which are used for training of the feed-forward neural network. Equation 7 shows the average error. If we see equation 5 and equation 6, we see here that in place of simply taking error as t minus o, we have taken it as t minus o square. Why the square term is used here? Because if o is positive, sometimes o may be negative, means sometimes t may be more than target, may be more than output, or sometimes output may be more than target. So if we take simple addition, arithmetic sum of various errors, then sometimes error may be 0 while this is there. So to take account error corresponding to each pattern, not arithmetic summation is taken, but square of each error is considered. Then the equation 8, this is the weight update equation. Then this is equation, these equations are the expression for calculating delta W. Equation 10 and equation 11. Equation 10 is for the neurons between hidden layer and output layer, while equation 11 is for the neuron, for the weights between hidden layer and input layer. So all these equations are used for updating the weight of the MLP model. Here eta and alpha. Eta is known as learning rate, while alpha is known as momentum. Values of eta and alpha lie between 0 and 1. Then this is flow chart for back propagation neural network. Now come to unsupervised learning, as we have already discussed that only inputs are given to it. In addition to this, competitive learning is also there. In competitive learning, the neurons compete among themselves to be activated, and only one output neuron that wins the competition is called the winner takes all neuron, and this type of learning is used in a very popular unsupervised neural network model that is known as Conan's SOFM model, Conan's self-organizing feature. Now applications of artificial neural network. These may be used for function approximation or regression analysis, including time series prediction, fitness approximation, and for modeling. These may be used for classification tasks, including pattern recognition, sequence recognition, novelty detection, and sequential decision making. ANNs can be used for data processing, including filtering, clustering, blind source separation, and compression. In robotics also we can use ANN. This includes directing manipulators, computer numerical control, etc. System identification and control. For this purpose we can use for vehicle control and process control. In quantum chemistry, it has good applications in game playing and decision making, chess, racing, etc. In pattern recognition, radar system, face identification, object recognition, and many more. For sequence recognition, this may be gesture, speech, handwritten text recognition. In medical diagnosis, we can use in forecasting, it may be weather forecasting or it may be load forecasting. In optimization, ANN can also be used for memory purpose, or storing or memory purpose. Also we can use artificial neural network, because memory is nothing but this is problem solving knowledge, and in artificial neural network the problem solving knowledge is stored in the form of weights. In financial applications we can also use ANN in data mining or in knowledge discovery in databases, KDD. It has good application, and visualization, and in email spam filtering also this can be used. Now we see what are the key issues related to it. The difficulties associated with the ANN implementation may be like this. One is design of artificial neural network. When we want to develop a neural network, what should be the input? What should be the inputs for solving a problem? We see that in a problem, in any system, output depends on a large number of inputs. So what should be the more appropriate features or more important inputs for selection, so that an efficient neural network can be developed. So this is known as input feature selection. For optimum feature selection, what should be the exact number, what should be the effective number of feature selection? This is not a priori known when we want to develop a neural network. So this is totally a trial and error method. And for this purpose, some heuristics are also required. The methods which are usually applied for input feature selection are principal component analysis, PCA method, entropy reduction method is there, angular distance based clustering method is also there for feature selection. Then second problem associated with the design of ANN is selection of hidden layer and hidden neurons. There is no set rule for the selection of number of hidden layers and hidden nodes in MLP model. Empirical formula for hidden nodes are available. Dynamically designing of hidden layer can be proposed. Then training set generation, the most important thing is how to generate training set and what should be the number of training set. There is no efficient way of generating exhaustive and complete training set. For the development of an ANN, field trials using actual data necessary for effective ANN. Approach to minimize training patterns proposed. Third difficulty is associated with selection of training parameters. As I've just discussed that training parameters or learning parameters of ANN are eta and alpha. Eta is known as learning rate, alpha is known as momentum or step size. So there is no fixed rule for the selection of eta and alpha. If the values are too large, the training will never be complete. All oscillations will take place. Sometimes we will find that error is decreasing. After some iteration, we will find that the error is again increasing. So what should be the proper value of eta and alpha? This depends upon, again, trial and error method. BP algorithm can be made faster by using adaptive learning algorithm, conjugate gradient method, Newton's method, and second order BP algorithm. Then weight initialization, there is no systematic procedure for selection of initial weights. Use of some function is proposed for weight initialization to speed up the training of MLP model. Not in most of the cases, we used to take bipolar small numbers as weights. Weights are not in kilogram, gram like this. Weights are just the numbers. The numbers are either positive or negative. But initial weights are always taken very small. The other problem associated with ANN application is end user factor. ANN implementation lags to interact with the end user. Hybrids means we will get only the numbers. Answer is only in numerical form. It doesn't say anything. No sentence is written as we achieve in case of expert system. So ANN lags in the interaction with end user. To improve it, hybrid system combining ANN and expert system can be used so that end user factor may be included in various models evolving the synergism of ANN and expert system reported in some references. All right, so we find here that a number of problems are associated with these neural networks. Out of a number of other models are also there, commonly used models are also there. These are self-organizing feature map. This is unsupervised neural network, which is used for rough classification. In addition to this, radial basis function neural network is there. Half-field neural network is there that is used for optimization purpose. Recurrent neural network RNN is also there. But out of all these, the most popular and most powerful model is the multi-layer perceptron model. All right. So the difficulties which we have just discussed are associated with MLP model also. Now what happened? Because of all these, a number of trials, a large long time is required for development of neural network. So researchers again put their efforts to modify these models. So this resulted into a different type of learning that is known as deep learning. So deep learning is a class of machine learning algorithm that uses a cascade of multiple layers of nonlinear processing units for feature extraction and transformation. As I just discussed, as we have just discussed, that how to select the feature and what should be the number of optimum features, that was only on the basis of trial and error. So what happened in deep learning concept? In deep learning, a large number of multiple layers, a large number of layers were used. These layers were capable of performing non-linear processing and also for extracting important features. So there is no burden of there is no task of determining the features in any problem. So this is very good advantage of deep learning over the simple ANN models, over the machine learning. Each successive layer uses the output from the previous layer as input. In deep learning, it learns in supervised manner, that is for classification and or and this may use unsupervised learning also. So classification tasks and supervised and unsupervised, both type of learnings are built in deep learning concept. This learns multiple levels of representations that correspond to different levels of abstraction. The levels form a hierarchy of concepts. This is simple neural network. Most popular neural network, that is multi-layer perceptron model. One input layer, one output layer, one hidden layer. This neural network, this is a 3-layer neural network. So a 3-layer neural network with sufficient number of hidden layer neurons is capable of solving any non-linear and complex problem. That's why this is also known as universal approximator. All right, but as we have just discussed, what should be the input features, how many features should be selected, how many hidden layer neurons should be there. So all these problems were associated with the conventional MLP model. In place of this deep learning neural network, DLNN has a number of this, may have 50 layers, 55 layers, more than 100 layers. So any number may be there. So this is deep learning neural network. So there is no need of extracting features. And it also requires a large number of training patterns can also be used for the training of deep learning neural network. So the first figure, this is simple neural network. This is now the earlier ANN models are known as like MLP model. This is nowadays known as swallow network, while the other one is known as deep learning neural network. So MLP model is swallow neural network, while the second one is known as deep learning neural network. So that is swallow learning neural network. This is deep learning neural network. Now deep learning neural network, more about this. A deep learning neural network, DNN, is an artificial neural network with multiple layers between the input and output layers. The DNN finds the correct mathematical manipulation to turn the input into the output, whether it be a linear relationship or non-linear relationship. Deep learning neural network can model complex non-linear relationships, whereas the different models are like this. One is recurrent neural network model is there. Convolutional deep neural networks are also there, CNN. Deep belief networks are there, and deep Boltzmann machines. This model is also there. Why deep learning is useful? So this is again just comparison of DLNN with shallow neural network. Manually designed features are usually overspecified, sometimes incomplete, and may take long time to design and validate. Deep learned features are easy to adopt, fast to learn, because these are extracted by the deep learning itself. Deep learning provides a very flexible, almost universal learnable framework for representing world, visual and linguistic information. It can learn both supervised and unsupervised. It has effective end-to-end joint system learning. It utilizes large amounts of training data. In the year 2010 onwards, deep learning started outperforming other machine learning techniques, first in speech recognition and vision, and afterwards in non-linear programming. So this is all about theoretical part of artificial neural network. Now, one example, one neural network. Now, I would like to show one neural network that I have developed for estimating, for estimation of paint required for painting various classrooms in an institute. This is one example where MLP model has been used. Share, you want to share it? Okay. Are you able to see this program? Hello?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. It is
Okay.
visible.
Okay, this is one small example, general example. Here we have developed a neural network to estimate, to calculate the requirement of paint for painting various classrooms in an institute. Okay, so here X, we have taken 500 total patterns. Total patterns means training pattern, testing pattern, and validating patterns also. Validating patterns are nothing but in some patterns are taken, and in between the training, performance of neural network is validated on these patterns. So three types of patterns we can classify when we want to develop a neural network. The total patterns are divided into three parts. Around, in this case, 70% patterns are used for training, 15% for validating the results, and remaining 15% for testing the performance of the trained neural network. In this case, total patterns are taken as 500. Here, variable X shows the length of a room, Y shows breadth of the room, H shows height of the room. The room length of various classrooms lie between 10 meter to 30 meter. A small size room has length as 10 meters, while largest size classroom has its length as 30 meters. Then breadths are 6 meter and 20 meters. minimum is 6 meter, maximum breadth is 20 meters. Then height, some rooms are of 5 meters height, while some rooms are of 10-meter height. So these are the minimum and maximum length, breadth and heights of various classrooms in an institute. So how we can develop a neural network? For this purpose, first of all, we are to generate the patterns. So how we generate the patterns? Using these minimum and maximum values of, so it means this has three variables, x, y and h. Using the minimum and maximum values of these variables, 500 patterns are generated here using the function rand. So xik is nothing, this is x min, minimum value of it. Then rand is a function that generates random number between 0 and 1. This rand is multiplied to x max minus x min. So all the patterns, all the values of x generated will lie between 10 to 30. Similarly for y and similarly for h, we have generated various values which are lying between their minimum and maximum values. All right. Next is roof area. Roof area can be calculated by multiplying length and breadth. Then ANN inputs are, in this case, will be length, breadth and height of classrooms. So we have taken all these three variables at one place and we have defined it as capital X1. So X1 is nothing but horse cat. We have connected all the three, X, Y and H. Then we can see what is its size. Its size should be 500 into 3, 500 rows and 3 columns. Then paint table area is this equation 2 into x plus y into h plus roof area, means area of each wall, all the 4 walls and roof area. So we have added all these. So in this way, paintable area has been calculated. Now here we have assumed in this problem that 1 liter paint is required for painting of 10 square meter area. This we have assumed here. So it means the target value here will be amount of paint that is required for it will be paintable area divided by 10. All right. Then feed forward neural network. Here we have taken 26 hidden layer neurons. We can vary the number of hidden layer neurons. Small number, medium and large number. So how we generate it? Here we have used MATLAB ANN toolbox. ANN toolbox has been used here. The model used here, feed forward neural network. For this, syntax is given here. Net is equal to feed forward net. Inside bracket, this is 26. So 26 is nothing but number of hidden layer neurons. Then we are to train it. So this is the syntax for that. Then view. We can view by giving this command. We can view the neural network. Then ANN actual output. This is calculated. Then error, pattern wise error, that is calculated. Then all these things, target value, ANN output and error are compiled at one place, and afterwards its performance has been computed. So when we run this program, so we are to share this screen, I think. How you will share it?
This one.
This one. Okay. So when we run this program, we find various values like this. See here. Are you able to see the answer, the window? Hello?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Yes,
Okay,
ma'am. It is.
okay, okay, then no problem. Now see here, 500 into 3, 500 means number of training patterns, 3 is input size. Then number of outputs are 500. Target value is only 1, that is paint requirement. Now here this T oblique A, here the first column shows amount of, this is the target value or the desired value. Second column shows the ANN output, and third column is nothing but this is error between the two. So we can see here that the ANN just developed is able to estimate to predict the amount of paint required for various rooms. These values are different for each room because the size of room is different. So out of these 500, this is built in the neural network toolbox. 70% patterns have been used for training purpose, 15% for validation purpose, and remaining 15 for testing purpose. And the testing performance we can see here, that is, this is 6.4866 into 10 to power minus 7. It means the neural network developed is able to give quite correct estimation. If we run this program again, we will get some other value. See, this value is different from the other one. Why this is so? We have not changed input, we have not changed output, we have not changed number of hidden layer neurons. Even then we find that the error is different, ANN output is different. Why this is so? Because the random number the random weights, the initial weights which we have used here, these are different in different trials. So that's why ANN output is changing each time we run the program. All right. Now one more thing I want to show, that is I want to share. Okay. Now see this. This is neural network model. Number of inputs are 3. Then hidden layer neurons are 26. Then output only 1 is there. Then 1000 iterations this required. Now by clicking it, we can see the performance here. So see here, this blue one, this curve shows training error iteration wise. Iteration is not correct word. In batch mode, this is known as epochs. So 1000 epochs are used here for training of it. So this blue one is for training. This green one, this is for validation. And the red one, this is for testing error. Then training state, this can also be seen just by clicking it. So we can see here gradient, how this is changing. This is mu and this is, these are different cases. So if we go inside this, we will be able to find what are various values. Then regression, how this task has been completed here, see here. So all these information can be obtained just by using ANN toolbox of MATLAB. In place of using 26 hidden layer neurons, We can change it to any number. Here now I have taken 10. Again run it, and you will get some other answer. So just by having a number of trial and error, we can optimize the architecture of the neural network so that we may get best estimation out of various trials. So this is all about this lecture. If you have any, if you want to ask any question, you can ask.
Participants are requested to ask the queries. If they are having any queries, they can unmute yourself and ask. Or you can write in your chat box also. We'll take it up. Any participant is having queries? I think there are no queries in the chat box also.
Okay.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay,
Hello.
thank you.
Now it's time.
Hello,
Hello.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
madam. Can I ask one?
Yes, sir. You can
Yes,
ask.
yes, no
Yes.
problem.
Madam, the program what you have explained, it is for based on artificial neural network, ANN, no, madam.
Yes, yes, yeah.
But it is looking like a optimization problem, same as optimization problem. But how can we differentiate? It is looking like the same. But I am not completely aware of all these topics, madam. Just I want to know all the things.
Yes, yes, you are right. Actually, in this neural network is just giving the amount of paint that is required to paint a particular room of particular size. So this type of problem is known as estimation or prediction problem. What we do in optimization, what is done, we are to run the same program again and again till we get some optimum value of an objective function. Means optimization means either minimization or maximization. Either minimization or maximization of a function subject to some constraints. Are you from electrical engineering?
Yes, madam. Yes, madam. Electrical.
Yes. So now see, one important topic in electrical engineering, load flow. Load flow analysis. All right.
Yes, madam.
Another topic is optimal load flow. So what is difference between the two? In load flow, whatever variables are given, we are to use as it is and we are to give the answers. Okay, look, with this load condition and with this generation in this network and with this connectivity of various lines, these are the voltages at various buses and these are the power flows in different lines. And this is the losses occurring in various lines. So this is known as load flow problem. Okay. Now come to optimal load flow problem. When we are to solve optimal load flow problem, then what we are to do? We are given some control variables. Control variable means we are given some limits, and within that limits, we can change the value of various control variables. For example, in optimal load flow, the important control variables are, first of all, we are to see what is objective function. In case of optimal load flow, most commonly used objective function is power loss minimization. So when we are performing this, control variables are like this: power generation by different generating units, then voltages of various generating units, terminal voltage, then transformer tap setting is there. If we are having shunt capacitors, so those settings are also there. So all these are forming a set of control variables. So when we are performing optimal load flow, then we are to determine the optimal values of these control variables so that power loss becomes minimum. Minimum doesn't mean zero. Minimum तो सबका zero होता है. Zero should not be there because every time load balance equation must be satisfied. So in case of optimal load flow, what we are to do? We are to run load flow again and again with different values of control variables. And each time we are to see what is value of real power loss. Again change the setting of control variables, that is generator output, generator bus voltage, transformer type setting, shunt capacitors. So, and those values must lie within their specified minimum and maximum limits. So each time we are to run the program load flow and we are to check the answer. So the control variable setting which provides minimum power loss out of various trials, that control setting is known as optimal setting of control variables, and that is the answer of optimal load flow. लोड फ्लो का आंसर कुछ भी है जो उन्होंने आपको दिया नेटवर्क का इंफॉर्मेशन, यू हैव जस्ट यूज दैट एंड यू प्रोवाइडेड द आंसर कि ये इसका आंसर है. बट जब आपसे ऑप्टिमल लोड फ्लो करने के लिए कहा गया, देन आपको जो जनरेटर है उनका शेड्यूलिंग you are to perform in such a manner so that their fuel cost is minimum, or if power loss is the objective function, then power loss should be minimum. So it means a number of trials are required there. In case of ANN development, you are right that in case of development of ANN for a particular task, the same type of scenario is also here. But in this case, what is a number of research papers are available. They are using various optimization techniques for finding out optimal ANN architecture. All right. So what they do, their objective function is error. So in place of using back propagation algorithm, what are they doing? They are using genetic algorithm, Partke swarm optimization, or any other optimization technique. So error minimize, their goal is, if we are using optimization in place of BP algorithm, if we want to use some optimization algorithm, yes, we can use. Control variables will be the weights, interconnected weights and bias, while the objective function will be the error. And this problem is minimize the error. So error minimization, and in this case, this may be zero also. Hypothetically, we can say that this error should be zero. But you know very well that if during training, if error has become zero or very, very small, then the generalization capability of neural network will be lost. So every time this is said that neural network must be optimally trained, not overtrained. If error becomes zero, it means this is the case of overtrained neural network. So overtraining is not required because it will over memorize the data. So during training, this is perfect. This is having zero error, but when testing is there, then its performance will deteriorate. So in this way, we can say that optimization is there, but the objective function is error, and the objective is to minimize. In optimization problem, both are included. Optimize means minimization and maximization both. Good things are to be maximized, negative things, bad things, losses are to be minimized, subject to various constraints. So constraints are always there in every real world problems. Constraints are there, so within the constraints we are to find out the minimum value or maximum value of a pre-specified objective function. ठीक है, is this okay?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. I think
Okay, thank
that
you.
is clear.
Yes, Vanna, I would like to.
Yes, sir. Sure, sir.
नमस्कार मैडम, विनय थापर बोल रहा हूँ मैं।
नमस्कार, आपसे बहुत दिनों से मुलाकात भी नहीं हुई, बताएं क्या हाल है, कैसे हैं आप? मैं ठीक हूँ, आप बताएं।
मैडम मेहरबानी है, एंड वी आर थैंकफुल टू यू दैट आपने हम लोगों का इनविटेशन एक्सेप्ट किया, एंड इट वाज आवर प्रिविलेज टू हैव यू विद अस। और बहुत ही इंफॉर्मेटिव मैडम लेक्चर था आपका। मैं मैडम, एक जो लोग नए हैं, नोवाइस हैं जो इस फील्ड में, मैं उनके तरफ से एक क्वेश्चन आपसे पूछना चाहता हूँ कि किसी को ANN सीखना हो तो हाउ वन शुड स्टार्ट?
ओके, ठीक है। सबसे पहले तो जो है वो प्रॉब्लम किस प्रॉब्लम पर काम करना है, पहले तो वो स्पेसिफाइड होनी चाहिए, और स्पेसिफाइड होने के साथ साथ उससे रिलेटेड रिसर्च पेपर, और एंड उससे अभी किस पर काम करना है। अभी आजकल फीचर इसके ऑफ आर्टिफिशियल न्यूरल नेटवर्क।
मैडम ये मैं उन लोगों के लिए मैं जनरलाइज बात कर रहा हूँ, मैं अपने लिए नहीं पूछ रहा हूँ। मैं पूछ रहा हूँ कि कोई अगर नया बंदा इस फील्ड में आना चाहता हो तो कैसे उसे स्टेप बाय स्टेप कैसे बढ़ना चाहिए?
जी हाँ, उससे रिलेटेड रिसर्च पेपर, क्योंकि वहाँ से आप फोकस करेंगे। कोई भी एक छोटी प्रॉब्लम है तो उसके लिए पेपर, अगर कोई यूजी लेवल है, यूजी और पीजी लेवल पर है, तब भी कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है। ANN के जो फंडामेंटल्स हैं, दोज आर वेरी वेल रिटन नाउअडेज इन डिफरेंट इंडियन ऑथर्स बुक्स आल्सो। तो उसको उस बुक्स में भी काफ़ी मिल रहा है, और उससे भी जो ज़्यादा इफेक्टिव तरीका है वो ANN टूल बॉक्स इज देयर। तो मैटलैब का जो ANN टूल बॉक्स है उसको भी ओपन करके उसके में भी दे हैव गिवन ए नंबर ऑफ डेमोज आल्सो। तो उन्होंने वहाँ कुछ अपने एग्जाम्पल भी दिए हुए हैं। उन एग्जाम्पल को कमांड लाइन में उन्होंने दिया हुआ है। एट द सेम टाइम दे हैव गिवन GUI आल्सो, ग्राफिकल यूजर इंटरफेस में भी दिया हुआ है। तो किसी भी मॉडल को यूज़ कर सकते हैं। अगर कमांड लाइन करेंगे तो उसमें फ्लेक्सिबिलिटी है, GUI में भी है। तो कोई भी एक मेथड को यूज़ करके जो उनके एग्जाम्पल दिए हुए हैं, स्टूडेंट्स और रिसर्चर्स मस्ट मैप देयर प्रॉब्लम इनटू दैट फॉर्मेट। बस अगर इतना करेंगे, अभी जस्ट ये जो मैंने एग्जाम्पल दिया इसमें न्यूरल नेटवर्क का एक टूल बॉक्स था जो मैंने यूज़ किया, और जो कॉन्सेप्ट है न्यूरल नेटवर्क के उनको यूज़ किया। तो उसको यूज़ करके जो है वो एक सिंपल जो है वो सेल्फ मेड एक प्रॉब्लम जो सबके कॉमन नॉलेज की, जनरल नॉलेज की, उसको डेवलप कर लिया। तो इन दी सेम वे ए नंबर ऑफ टूल बॉक्सेस आर देयर। मैटलैब ने जो रिसर्च है उसको काफ़ी सिंप्लिसिटी दिया हुआ है। मैटलैब टूल बॉक्सेस जो हैं और हर प्रॉब्लम से रिलेटेड है, स्टैटिस्टिकल एनालिसिस के हैं, फजी लॉजिक के दिए हुए हैं, जेनेटिक एल्गोरिथम के दिए हुए हैं। तो उनको यूज़ करके बस अपनी जो प्रॉब्लम है उनको वहाँ का जो फंक्शन है उसमें अगर कोई फिट कर ले तब वहाँ से वो अपने काम को स्टार्ट कर सकता है, सीख सकते हैं। करेक्ट आंसर आने से वो इंकरेजमेंट भी रहता है और उसमें फिर आगे बढ़ा जा सकता है। तो टूल बॉक्सेस ने रिसर्च जो है जो हम लोगों ने किया आपके समय में था, और उस समय एवरीथिंग सब जो है वो पूरा डेवलप करना पड़ता था अपने को, और बार बार कहीं से कुछ आंसर मिल जाता था छोटे सिस्टम का, उससे चेक करना पड़ता था कि वेदर जो प्रोग्राम डेवलप किया वो करेक्ट है या नहीं है। तो अब आजकल नहीं है, देखिए लोग मैटलैब का यूज़ करते हैं टूल बॉक्स और नीचे रेफरेंस में डाल देते हैं। तो कोई उनसे रिव्यूअर कमेंट में ये नहीं आता कि आप कैसे कि आपने अपने उसको किससे जो है ऑथेंटिकेट कैसे किया। तो वेरियस टूल बॉक्सेस आर देयर, उनको यूज़ करके, प्लस बुक्स बहुत बढ़िया है, उन बुक्स को यूज़ करके। तो सिंपली एकदम बेसिक आइडिया के लिए बुक्स और इम्प्लीमेंट करने के लिए, क्योंकि अगर इलेक्ट्रिकल कोई भी ब्रांच है, आजकल तो आर्ट्स में भी कंप्यूटर प्रोग्रामिंग की जरूरत पड़ रही है, तो जो उनके बने हुए टूल बॉक्स है उनको थोड़ा सा स्टडी करके जो है वो उस पर आगे बढ़ा जा सकता है।
मैडम आपके हिसाब से कौन सी बुक्स नए लोगों को
अच्छा
करनी चाहिए रेफर?
हाँ, एक यज्ञ नारायणन की बुक है, दैट इज वेरी गुड। एक एम.ए. पाई की बुक है, अच्छा वो एम.ए. पाई की बुक इज आल्सो देयर वो। और मैटलैब की साउथ के 4-5 ऑथर हैं, उन्होंने दे हैव गिवन मैटलैब के, उन्होंने बहुत सारे जो है वो आई थिंक कि CSIT में उसको यूज भी करते होंगे, मैटलैब फॉर इंजीनियर्स आई थिंक ये उसका नाम है बुक का। और उसमें उन्होंने अलग अलग मॉडल के, परसेप्ट्रॉन मॉडल, बीपी मॉडल, इसके उन्होंने पूरे छोटे छोटे प्रोग्राम जैसे भी बना कर दिए हुए हैं कि अगर किसी को अपने आप भी कोडिंग सीखनी है तो उसको भी वो लोग जो है वो उसमें सीख सकते हैं। तो उसमें एक जो शॉर्ट कंप्यूटिंग की जो है वो देयर आर सेवरल बुक्स, बहुत सारी बुक्स इस समय जो है वो अवेलेबल है एंड दे आर नाइसली रिटन आल्सो। तो और आजकल तो कहीं जाने की भी जरूरत नहीं है, अगर इंटरनेट पर भी अपना प्रॉब्लम डाल देंगे बुक्स ऑन दिस, तो नंबर ऑफ बुक्स जो है वो बिल्कुल फ्री डाउनलोडेबल भी है इस समय। तो इस समय मटेरियल जो ओपन सोर्स लर्निंग का कॉन्सेप्ट है उसके कारण मटेरियल एकदम ट्रेमेंडस है, बस सिस्टमेटिक अप्रोच और जो है वो फोकस्ड अप्रोच, ये दो चीज़ें बहुत ज़रूरी हैं। अगर एक ही समय में ये बुक, अगर बहुत सारी बुक्स को एक साथ देखा तो कंफ्यूजन विल बी देयर।
हाँ जी, वही होता है मैडम एक बिगनर के साथ कि वो इतनी सारी बुक्स।
ये ओपन सोर्स लर्निंग में इतना सारा मटेरियल है कि जो रीडर है उसको समझ ही नहीं आता है कि दिस इज करेक्ट और दैट इज करेक्ट, और ये एकदम स्टैंडर्ड मैटर है या ये सब स्टैंडर्ड मैटर, ये वाला जो जल्दी से समझ में आ रहा है। देखिए कितना मटेरियल, कोई भी आप टाइटल डाल दीजिए, इतना मटेरियल उसमें है कि जो है वो ऑथेंटिक है भी नहीं, ये भी नहीं पता चलता है उसमें।
या और वहीं आपके जैसे गुरु लोगों की जरूरत पड़ती है।
तो नहीं, आपने भी बहुत बढ़िया किया है, हमेशा हमें NIT में आपका सब हमेशा जिक्र होता है कि बहुत बढ़िया मैडम वगैरह हमेशा आपका नाम लेते हैं, तो आपका भी बहुत है, आपने वहाँ पर आके भी बहुत बड़ा एफर्ट किया है। बिल्कुल RGPV में भी बहुत, क्योंकि वो इतना बड़ा समुद्र है RGPV, पूरे इतने सारे कॉलेज वो सब पूरा एक साथ कराना अपने आप में बहुत बड़ा काम, बहुत बड़ा है। उसके लिए तो इतना पूरा वो जो एग्जाम सेक्शन है वहाँ तो जाते ही एकदम लगता है कि ये कहाँ आ गए यहाँ पर, इतना पूरा वास्ट है, फिर भी हर समय वहाँ काम जो है वो होता ही रहता है। बिल्कुल। और वो अब यहाँ पर भी सीनियर पोजीशन एकेडमिक, वो तो एकेडमिक सब हट गया, एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन अब जो है वो बस हर समय चलने शुरू हो गया है। तो मैंने जो है उसको फोन पे मना ही कर दिया था, मैंने कहा रहने दो, टाइम ही नहीं है तैयार करने का भी।
नहीं मैडम, इट वाज रियली सो नाइस ऑफ यू।
पता नहीं, आई डोंट नो कैसा, हाउ वाज द लेक्चर, आई डोंट नो।
नहीं, इट वाज वंडरफुल मैडम। जैसे
उन्होंने बार बार कहा, आपका भी ईमेल आया तो मुझे लगा कि जो है वो आप इतना बड़ा टास्क कर रहे हैं वहाँ पर, इतना ऑर्गेनाइज करना सब पूरा, तो थोड़ा सा अगर वहाँ पर इनवाइट किया है तो वो हमारे लिए भी जो है वो गौरव की बात है।
वैसे कोरोना के कारण ये ब्लेसिंग इन डिस्गाइज हो गई है मैडम कि ऑर्गेनाइज करना बड़ा आसान हो गया है, अदरवाइज ये एक्चुअल में करें तो इतना इस समय डिफिकल्ट चीज है। पर
बिल्कुल, यस।
थैंक यू मैडम, थैंक यू वेरी मच।
ओके, थैंक यू वेरी मच, थैंक्स।
नमस्कार
पेशेंट हियरिंग, थैंक यू।
नमस्कार मैडम।
जी
Ma'am, sir is asking one question. Dr. D.K. Agrawal sir is asking.
नमस्कार मैडम, मैं डॉक्टर अग्रवाल, DK अग्रवाल।
जी नमस्कार, बताएं।
और मेरी लास्ट ईयर आपसे मुलाकात हुई थी, बातचीत।
यस यस यस।
I was directed, now I am in the UIT.
Okay.
From my own word.
Okay. Okay.
मैं आपका स्टूडेंट रहा हूँ 1988।
Okay, 1988
MITS में। I have done my graduation in 1989।
अग्रवाल साहब, मैडम को अपनी सूरत दिखाएं तो उनको याद आएगा कि आप।
हाँ, वो भाई वही, वो क्या है, इसमें मुझको कुछ आता नहीं है करना, मैं अभी एक रिसर्च स्कॉलर को बिठा के रखा हुआ है, तब
नहीं, वो तो अग्रवाल साहब दिखाएंगे ना। अग्रवाल साहब अपना कैमरा ऑन करो आप।
कहाँ है बताओ, वो एक PhD स्टूडेंट कहाँ से बताओ,
नहीं पहचान पाएंगे।
नारायण को मैंने पहचान लिया, नारायण गुप्ता जी को पहचाना, और इनको कहाँ से देखना है? हाँ, अच्छा आपका वीडियो बंद है, देखो ये बता रहे हैं
आने उन्होंने चालू किया था, फिर शायद बंद हो गया उनका वो।
ओके, वही वही नया है, ये कुछ नहीं आता है बिल्कुल।
केटी सर नहीं दिख रहे हैं अभी इसमें।
Thank you very much, madam, for such a wonderful lecture, how the neural network works and how the training and testing are done. And I am thankful for enlightening us and giving a very precious time. Thank you very much, madam.
थैंक यू। चलो इनवाइट किया तो सबसे मुलाकात हो गई।
जी 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 मैडम आ गए, मैडम अग्रवाल सर आ गए।
हाँ, अच्छा अच्छा अच्छा।
आपको याद नहीं आ रहा होगा 88
सर पुरानी फोटो दिखाएंगे तो याद आएगा।
अच्छा, अब तो बहुत चेंजेस हो गए, बहुत चेंजेस हो गए।
अच्छा हाँ, ये अच्छा अच्छा भी है अभी। ओके, आर्टिस्ट
बहुत टाइम हो गया। एक्चुअली श्रीवास्तव साहब से बात होती रहती है उनसे।
अच्छा
सर
जी
सर से तो बातचीत होती रहती थी
जी हाँ
लगातार, आपसे बहुत कम इंटरेक्शन हुआ है।
हाँ। अब कभी इनवाइट करेंगे आपको, आप अपना बताइए जरा।
लास्ट ईयर जरूर आया था मैं, लास्ट ईयर आया था एक बार अभी।
अच्छा चलिए।
तो शेड्यूल बड़ा बिजी था उस समय। थैंक
वैसे
यू
ही
मैडम, थैंक यू फॉर बहुत समय बाद आपसे सीखने को मिला चीजें, नई चीजें, और इट विल बी हेल्पफुल टू ऑल पार्टिसिपेंट्स। थैंक यू वेरी मच।
ओके, थैंक यू थैंक यू।
Thank you, ma'am, for your valuable suggestions and guidance. And now it's time to say big thanks to the all great hearts.
Yes.
I, Vanna Sondhya, on behalf of the entire fraternity and the organizing team, extend a very hearty vote of thanks to our eminent guest, Professor Lakshmi Srivastava, ma'am, for sharing your important work, for gracing your important work and sharing with us your findings and opinions today. I'm immensely thankful to the ma'am for her ideas and elegance of explanation of new artificial neural network, basic learning laws, perceptron model, application of ANN, and deep learning neural network. Really, ma'am, it's a very insightful and inspiring session we have. We are all influenced by your great words. I take this opportunity to especially express my deep regards and gratitude to Professor Sunil Kumar Gupta, Honorable Vice Chancellor, RGPV, for always encouraging us and providing opportunity to organize such events. I would further extend my hearty vote of thanks to Professor Devanand Hindolia, Sir, Director UIT RGPV, for his unconditional support and confidence. A special thanks to our respected Professor S.C. Chaube, Sir, Coordinator, TechU3, for being the catalyst that stimulated us to do our best and standing as pillars of strength. With a deep sense of appreciation, we thank you, sir. Heartfelt thanks to Professor Vinay Thapar, sir, convener of the FDP and head of the Department of Electrical Engineering. It is your vision and leadership that has brought
Vanna,
yes, sir.
Vanna, should I interrupt?
Yes, sir. She shows.
ऑर्गेनाइजर्स एक दूसरे को थोड़ी थैंक्स देते हैं।
You are the convener.
So I am part of organizing committee, so kindly don't thank organizers. Baki thanks the participant.
Yes, yes, I'm doing. I also extend thanks to the coordinator, Dr. K.T. Chaturvedi, sir, Assistant Professor, EX Department, UIT RGPV, for their enormous cooperation with the eminent speakers at the FDP. My sincere gratitude also goes to the organizing committee. An event like this cannot happen overnight. It requires planning and a bird's eye for details. We have been fortunate to be backed by an organizing team of very proactive and dedicated faculty. My deep sense of appreciation and thanks to all the participants who chose to be in line with us and attended the FDP with great enthusiasm and made it a successful event. Last, but surely not the least, I thank TechU3 team for all the technical support and for helping us to conduct the FDP. Certificates will be sent to the participants' registered email address. Thank you all for your kind attention. Have a great day ahead. Thank you.
Thank you, madam. Thank you very much.
Dear participants, please fill feedback.
Yes, sir, I'm feeling just.